Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Imagine you were one of those people who decided, I'm going to go and buy an electric car because you thought you were saving the planet. And then somebody, shows you the mining that's involved in trying to get the lithium out. And you go, ooh, maybe I won't, I don't know. But then you look at the price and think, well, yeah, I know it's expensive to buy, but it's cheap to run. And then somebody says, actually, with the price of electricity now, public charging is more expensive than petrol. And you go, ugh. That's two reasons you've got not to buy an electric car. So you think, yes, but on the other hand, if I drive an electric car, I'm still being virtuous, it's still good for the planet, really, isn't it? And then someone explains to you, do you know how much damage you're going to do to the planet? Do you know how much damage you're going to do to the roads? And do you know that having electric cars means you can't use public car parks because too many of them, and they'll crumble, crash and collapse. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Not according to the University of Leeds. Electric cars are so bad for the roads. They're going to have to tax them, They're going to have to tax them quite heavily in order to pay for the damage they do. Let's look at this. Here goes. So, electric cars cause twice as much road damage as petrol equivalents. And this is why Britain's pothole crisis could be worsened by the rise of EVs. The stress on roads causes greater movement of asphalt, leading to small cracks, which then grow over time. Heavy cars, you see. So electric cars cause twice as much stress to the roads as petrol ones, which could increase the number of potholes amid a growing crisis in Britain, according to the survey. Where I live in my village, we had a pothole crisis here in the early part of the year. I actually went over one. It cost me a tyre. And then about a week later, another tyre went on a different pothole. Didn't even see the second one. It is crazy. But anyway, a study led by the University of Leeds, power Leeds, no, different Leeds, found the average electric car puts 2.24 times more stress on the roads than a similar petrol vehicle and 1.95 more than a diesel. Larger electric vehicles can cause up to 2.32 times more damage to roads. The only way around this is you charge a higher car tax. Not, of course, for outputs, but for emissions and things, but for road damage. The stress on roads causes greater movement of the asphalt, which leads to small cracks and eventually potholes. This research, analysed by the Telegraph, comes as the UK suffers a pothole crisis, with an estimated £12 billion needed to fill them. Reports say half the number of potholes have been filled in compared to a decade ago. As I say, we had a pothole crisis in the town, in the village here, but that was down to the building of there's a housing estate being built at the back, and it was all the big lorries were coming down, trundling down, and just where they slow to do the big turn in, that's where it's all getting ground, and all the potholes opened. Anyway, the weight of cars has become an increasing issue for potholes in recent years, as buyers shift towards larger, heavier petrol and diesel SUVs. The move to even heavier electric cars, particularly SUV-style ones, will cause even greater stress on road surfaces. So electric cars, they're not virtuous, they're not good, they're terrible for the environment. What do you do with all the batteries once they're finished with? Because they're full of toxins. Can't just throw them away. And once they're about 5 or 6 years old, they start going down in efficiency big time. You need to replace them. It's not like a diesel engine. A big diesel engine, you can get 1 million miles out of that. You aren't getting 1 million miles out of batteries. And a battery pack is £10,000 a pop, So it's a very, very terrible waste, these electric cars. The research has also been published after experts warned multi-storey car parks could be at risk of damage or even collapsing due to the weight of electric vehicles. Triple the number of electric cars are now being driven on the roads since 2019, with the number reaching 900,000. Won't be long until that's like 1 million cars. The University of Leeds assessed weights of 15 popular electric cars compared to their petrol equivalents and found the electric vehicles were on average 312 kilograms heavier. This is largely because electric cars have heavy batteries, which can weigh up to 500 kilograms. Now you think if you've got a 5,000 space car park, multi-storey car park, and you're talking 300 odd 300 odd kilograms per car, that's 1,500 tons? 1,500 metric tons? That's a lot. 1,500 metric tons is an awful lot of excess weight. And I bet you it wasn't necessarily designed for that. Anyway, researchers included smaller models such as the BMW Mini Cooper, the Peugeot E208, the Ford Focus Electric and Vauxhall Corsa E, and larger ones such as the Jaguar I-Pace and the Audi e-tron 50 Quattro. Analysis uses the fourth power formula. Oh yes, fourth power, so it's if you double it, you times it by 8. If you triple it, you times it by 27. So it's a method adopted by highways engineers and researchers to assess damage on road surfaces caused by heavy vehicles. It reportedly means if the weight on the vehicle's axis is doubled, it can cause 16 times the amount. 16? Oh yeah, sorry, fourth power. Yeah, not third power. Fourth power. Yeah, 16 times the amount of damage to a road. So a car that's doubled the weight causes 16 times more damage. Now these cars are causing a lot more damage, aren't they? Rick Green, chair of the Asphalt Industry Alliance, previously told the Telegraph unclassified roads would not have been designed to accommodate HGV axle weights, so heavier electric cars exacerbate existing weaknesses and therefore accelerating decline. Electric cars, which are roughly twice as heavy as standard models, could also cause serious damage to car park floors, with especially older, unloved structures most at risk of buckling, experts have said. Well, these cars then, anyone driving an electric car must be banned from using multi-storey car parks for safety reasons. It's got to be an immediate health and safety ban on electric cars using multi-storey car parks. And also, you've got to ban them from small country roads. They're just going to cause too much damage. It's the only way to save our road system, isn't it? Otherwise, we've got to dig up every road in Britain and cover it in asphalt, which is oil-based, which is kind of against the whole point of having the electric car in the first place, isn't it? So perhaps now is not the time to be buying an electric car. You'll have to wait until the batteries become much, much smaller and lighter. Anyway, I shall finish there. I shall turn off and come up, and we'll finish the video. The longer and the harder they push for these electric vehicles, the more evidence is coming out that they're not the great saviour of the planet that everyone thought. Existing cars already exist. All the energy that's gone into making them has already been expended. When you're having to make new cars all the time, these new electric cars, you're still using a lot of energy to make them. And of course you're using a very, very limited product in the lithium, for example, that goes into the batteries. And lithium mining, it's filthy. It's absolutely filthy. Whereas we have got a very, very good, clean oil industry, especially in the West particularly. And so it's the rush to electric is a long way off yet, I feel. We need to improve battery technology a lot better. I'm not saying don't go for it, but I am saying we need to improve the battery technology. You need to be able to get 600-700 miles out of a single charge, and a single charge taking no more than about 10 minutes. Also, it's got to be a lot lighter, and that's the main problem they have. Also, we have to build 36 nuclear power stations in Britain alone. Good luck with that. Anyway, I shall round off there. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please do hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, kind of keep your normal car for as long as you can, and goodbye.